What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video here at the Hideaway Homestead Ranch. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Andrew. We live off-grid on 40 acres, and today I'm going to be turning our compost pile, which is right here. This has been something I've been kind of experimenting and learning, is how to create basically hot compost. We did some compost last year, but it was cold. It took all year long. This year we finally achieved hot compost. It's actually on its cooling down phase, and yeah, it got all the way up to like 130. It got really hot, which is cool. That's what I've been trying to do. And this particular pile consists of a lot of horse manure that we got when we went to go get soil for our garden. We sifted all the soil, and these are all the big leftover chunks of horse manure, essentially. So we threw it into the compost pile. Additionally, this little area right here, I've been also kind of experimenting with by laying down just all kinds of different organic matter, I guess. A bunch of wood chips, old cow patties, a little bit of that horse manure, just all kinds of things like that, you know, ash and charcoal from the fire pit, things like that. And I've just been trying to, you know, give life back to the dirt to create more soil so the plants can grow, and it's actually been working. I've also been irrigating this little area right here. I have a sprinkler, you can see it right there. I use our gray water from our washing machine to, you know, spray right here and irrigate the land. I haven't done it in a while because we are in the middle of monsoon season, and we've been getting a bunch of rain, which there's more in the forecast. I think in the next 3 or 4 days we should be getting lightning and thunder and rain and stuff. So yeah, I'm about to get ready to pull this metal rack up and just mix this pile. You know, I'm going to add a few more things, which I just have this small bucket, which is, you know, some dirt and food scraps. And then I have a little bit more of that horse manure to put in there, and just let it continue breaking down so that we can have good soil for our garden. So let me get all set up, and yeah, I'll just get to it. Alrighty then. So we've definitely been having some success with our compost lately, as far as getting it hot. There's all kinds of bugs in there, which is good. That's what we need. Let me do it this way. I actually need a new tarp. This one has a nice big hole in it. Okay, that's not gonna work. Now I just need to lift this. Oh, let me get this guy out of there. Don't want to mess this up. This is an important tool. Almost messed that up. And now I just pretty much just rake everything onto this tarp. So the main reason I'm mixing it today is the top of it is where we put all our food scraps. And it's been probably about a month since I've turned this, and we're like running out of space to put the food waste. So that's usually when I'm like, okay, it's time for me to get over here and do this.
Oh, freaking rock. I don't normally do this with flip-flops, huh?
So that's pretty much just how I guess mix it. You know, I just move it from there to here, and then just throw it back all in the rack and add whatever else I would need to add. I'm gonna be adding water. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. This shit's a workout. But you could see there's all kinds of bugs, like the little roly-polies, you know, a bunch of them actually. This is a rock. Oh, I got a rock in here. I don't need rocks. But it happens, you know, scraping around here, you know, there's rocks everywhere. So yeah. So I'm gonna be adding this bucket, which is kitchen scraps and just the debris underneath the juniper trees, just, you know, the pine needles, I guess, or the juniper pine needles. And then in this tub is just a little bit more of the manure we sifted out when we got soil. So it's pretty straightforward. I don't have a whole lot of anything else to add to it right now. But it's breaking down pretty well. There's no smell to it. It doesn't stink. You know, I know it's primarily horse manure, but there's no stench at all. Doesn't smell like poop. It don't smell like rotting food. Nothing. It just kind of smells like dirt, you know. But there are a lot of bugs. I'm just mainly seeing roly-polies, which is good. They eat it, it breaks down. That's what we want. Okay, I'm gonna finish. Back you go.
I know some people like really get into their composting and like super specific on how they throw it all back in there, and I don't do all that.
Okay, so now I'm about to add water. This is just rainwater that I collected in a barrel. We actually have no way of really collecting rainwater efficiently. Excuse me. But, you know, I'll take... All right, let's keep going. Of juniper needles and food scraps. Okay. Okay, another round of some water. So I had this plant kind of growing in our walkway, kind of, and it was just getting super big. So it's a good nitrogen source. And if you're new to composting, you basically need nitrogen source and a carbon source. And nitrogen can be live plants like that one I just threw in, you know, fresh grass clippings, garden trimmings, food scraps. Those are all examples of good nitrogen sources. It's probably the easiest way. Not a whole lot, but I had this thing filled to the top, the compost ring, and this was just what I had left over.
Ripping my tarp more. I'm gonna have 2 tarps at the end of this project.
Okay. Spread this out. Fuck it. All right. Okay, there it is, all filled back up and mixed up. And I barely added anything, and it looks, you know, a lot more fuller. So just gotta just let it do its thing. You know, I built a tiny little rock path right here just so I don't always step all over the plants and stuff. I mean, I'm doing it right now, obviously I got no choice, but typically I just walk right here. Yeah, and anything left over I just mix around out here, so I don't really care if it, you know, spills over or whatever. And then I like to just go in and like disturb the ground a little bit and just, I don't know, mix up the materials, things like that. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water to the very top and then just put the tarp back on top. I keep the tarp on top because we get the ravens. They'll come in there and they'll scratch and pull out stuff, and ever since I started putting the tarp on it, they just leave it alone. But yeah, look at these little flowers here. I don't think I've seen these ones around here. A lot of life is now coming out here. It's cool. So I haven't seen these little flowers before, I don't think. You know, and then we have these purple ones. You know, we have these little red, orange ones. It's pretty cool. We also have some white ones. Oh yeah, they're over there. We have some little white flowers. You know, these little ones. And then I did this thing right here. It's just a branch that I buried. And I did it for the birds, you know, so the birds come here and they land. I put a little bowl here with rocks just to weigh it down because the wind is crazy. But yeah, I'll just, you know, put water in here and birds come. You know, I've seen lizards, the bees. They'll come over here. I just think it looked kind of nice using the nature to decorate. That's kind of what I got to do with this rock right here. You know, there's one big dark rock, black rock. We don't have very many of these around here, so I was like, oh, this one's kind of unique. Let me just stand it up right there. But anyways, sun is going down. Whew, that was kind of a workout, but it's good, you know. Quick video. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys sticking around, tuning in. If you're new, consider subscribing and seeing more what goes on around here on our homestead. Otherwise, we will see you in the next video.